Hey, what's going on everyone? So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about how I went from a window in a brick and block wall to a door. So I knew nothing about how to do this prior to doing it. This is the only project I've ever done like this one, so I thought it'd be a good video to make for someone who wants to do something similar. So the door that is behind me is the door that we're talking about. Well, my plan is to go through the photos of what I did throughout the process to try and give you guys a little bit of guidance if you have to do something like this yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the house that I live at was added onto, and the wall that you're looking at was at once an exterior wall that's comprised of brick, block, and then a drywall framed by 2x4s. So you can see at the top of the window, if you don't know anything about construction, there's a brick lintel, which is essentially a piece of thickened angle iron that holds the weight of the bricks and the blocks that are above the window. The window doesn't have any weight that is supporting, or else it wouldn't be able to be there. So as a result, there's no weight on that window. So you can take the window out and take what's below it out without doing damage. So what I did was took the window out and started there to create my opening in the wall. And now you can see behind the window you have studs and then the drywall that's on the other side of the wall. So now you're looking through the brick, the block, into the back of the wall in the room on the other side. And it's important to note that if you were there in person, you'd be able to see, looking up above the window, there's a brick lintel. And you can see here in this photo, I'm starting to rip the bricks out piece by piece. Now, what you'll need is a diamond blade saw. I used a steel quickie saw I was able to rent that you can go in here and you can cut the brick, cut the block, and actually go straight down so that I was able to make enough room for a door. And you can see that's what this photo represents here. Now we were able to go the whole way down to the floor level on the other side of the room, which is a step up from the garage, which is where the photo was taken at. Okay, so in this photo you guys can see what I was able to do was actually rip out the drywall and all the studs on the other side. So now we have an opening, a rough opening, that's going to allow us to measure and put our door in. This next photo you guys are going to be able to see was where I took the block where it stopped at the floor. I cut it flush with the floor, and it was some hollow cement blocks. I filled it up. I put a piece of board around the front for form that's the same height as the floor, and I was able to go through and actually put a little bit of a pad there to create a step with concrete. This next photo is the door. Now because this height was from the lintel down to the floor, I had to cut off of the door. So rather than order a custom height door, they're expensive, there's longer lead times on them. All that I did was essentially ordered a wooden fire rated door, and I cut apart the casing of the door, cut off of it, remounted the threshold, remounted the top of the casing, and then I cut a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom of the door. The reason for that was I didn't just cut off the bottom because the door handle would be a little bit higher doing it the way I did it versus cutting it a little bit, just taking it off the bottom, the door handle would have been even lower, and it doesn't look quite as awkward. So this photo here is what it's going to look like. Now that I was able to actually get the door mounted and get it put in place, all that I did was mounted it flush with the interior wall so that I was able to go right into those studs in that drywall, behind the drywall I should say. So I was able to let that concrete dry for my landing, build a couple wooden steps, and get this door situated so that it's functioning, opening in and out of the area. Now I've done a ton of work in my garage since taking these photos and putting this pass-through door in, if you will, and I've been able to drywall everything and frame stuff out and build the wall out to try and give it more of a finished look. Now this is the interior wall, which is actually where I'm standing right now to film the video. I trimmed everything out and I was able to give it a finished look. The door is a little bit shorter. It was a standard height 8-foot door, but I had to cut probably about 5-6 inches off of it, which it's definitely a shorter door, but in our situation it made everything so much easier just to do it this way. Now I do want to reinforce again, the biggest thing is having a window already in place in this situation, because the brick lintels and the block lintels were already there. So all I had to do again was cut straight down, and I didn't have to worry about load bearing or anything like that, because those lintels bear the weight of what's above it. So I was able to put the door in, and this is a finished look with the drywall and everything. Now that everything is in, I eventually want to put some concrete steps in front of the door, but for now all I have is some wooden ones I built quickly. But that's the gist of what I did, and I would definitely like to say that I'm no contractor, but I did talk to some experienced building professionals about what I was doing. I showed them pictures, and the people that I talked to all universally said that this was a great way to go about it. It's safe, structurally there were no issues, and this was the way to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.